Hi, guys. This is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I am here today to do the past, present, and future story time. So, my guides, I went through a huge ascension process last week, and it was very, very intense. And I also realized that one of the biggest things that as a Taurus I have an issue with is control. Hey, Christina. Hey, Kara. So I'm not doing things as I normally would. And, keeping up with weekly energies and all that kind of stuff, like it's just not working for me. And I end up burning out because I'm doing the same repetitive thing. So my spirit guides have asked me to do a past, present, and future story time. So listen, when I start telling the past storyline, if it doesn't resonate with you within a few minutes, then this time. But there are a lot of new, spreads, messages that are going to be coming out soon. So just please take whatever resonates because these are general readings and they may not apply to everyone. Hey, Brooke. Yeah, well, who knows? There's a lot of us out here that are, of different zodiac signs, but I guess I haven't recognized too many Tauruses. So guess that's just what you're drawn to, Brooke. So welcome. But yeah, guys, I am Jessica. If you are not familiar with me, and this is my channel, and I'm so glad to have y'all here to my Vibe Tribe. You know I love you something serious. But again, guys, remember these are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if these messages do resonate with you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. I love reading your comments. If you're catching the replay, and I'm really excited to be doing this. I have no idea like really where they're going to be going. I do have a feeling that it might lean more towards the ascension process and possibly some soulmate twin flame energies that are going to be coming out. Hey, Matthew, haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, guys, it's huge right now. So hey, Tim, just take your time and, really process everything that you're going through. And I really wish you all the best of luck. Just a few reminders. If anyone has not looked into it yet and you want to come to Ramblin Mike's meet and greet, Danny from Northern Comfort Tarot, Brooke from Empress of Duality, and I will be down there and in Palm Coast, Florida at the Hilton on November 3rd. And it is going to be a huge, so much love, so many blessings, a lot of readings, and just great networking. So if you have ever tried to get a reading with Mike, whether you have gotten one or not, but you've reached out to him before for a reading, he will rebate you $25 at the door if you decide to come. But all of that information is down below in the description box. Just follow the link, okay? So hi, Krista. Yes. Brooke, I'll tell you, like, nothing can go against anyone's free will. It's about that law of attraction and just manifesting and opening up that space to let reconciliation happen because it's removing that resistance towards, being together. And that's what creates separation. But you can't do any harm in opening up that space, and just moving into more of a loving energy is ultimately going to attract your soulmate or twin flame back. But it all has to do with divine timing and what they're going through. So just keep that in mind. And I will be doing a video either today or this week about twin flames, like what are the key signs, because a lot of people talk about these things. I know I'm going way over, but these are obviously messages everyone needs to hear. There's a lot of signs that people get confused when it comes to soulmates and karmics, and then with their twin flame. So there's some key factors that I really want to go over with everyone that can kind of solidify if you've actually met your twin flame. But no one can really tell you that if besides you. That's all on you. So enough of my ramblings. Let's get started with this reading, guys. We're gonna start with again, if the storyline does not make sense with you, then of course. Okay. So this is going to be more towards love. Okay. Yeah, that's very possible, Brooke. That is very. So it just depends. This is a collective reading. It's a general reading. So this is going to be to whoever needs it most. And again, if it doesn't resonate with you in the first few minutes, then it's probably not your message today. Okay. So, okay. Okay. So this is going to, I can already feel it. And now that I'm tapping into the energy and I see the cards flying out, let me pull for the masculine side. I'm not going to say divine because, you know, not all of us are kind of in that place of being in the divine energy, especially if they are unawakened, whatever. And I'm just going based off of the feminine and masculine aspect. So just take that into consideration. Okay. Hey, Isabel. Yes, it is. All right. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. So this definitely is going towards more of the divine connections. Okay. So whether you are a soulmate, divine counterpart, it doesn't really, I'm not, just take however this storyline resonates with you. But this is past energy. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we do have the lovers. Okay. So this definitely tells me that this is some sort of divine connection where you feel like this was a fated meeting. This is someone that came into your life and sparked something that you have never quite felt before. And, you know, it could have definitely been in a place where the feminine was kind of in this place of vulnerability, really not quite stable on her feet in the way that she's projecting herself into the world. She might feel kind of, and I don't want to say helpless, but it's kind of that feeling that you get when you're going through, working through all these processes and what's really holding you back, and lend it a hand, whether it actually looks like that or not. With these divine connections, one of the things that we have to realize is even if they are not physically in our life, we learn a lot from these people, right? They trigger our most deepest seated insecurities and the things that, need to be addressed, that need to be, you know, acknowledged, released, transmuted. And it's like, she has this abundance tree, but she's laying on the ground, and he's already, gone through this period of, like, I feel like burning bridges. He's kind of gone through this process of where he's trying to meet his feminine in the, thank you so much for that, Brooke. He's trying to meet her in the middle, and he's actually trying to this point of, like, equal ground. And this is really what a lot of the divine connections are about. Whether you both realize it or not, it's about having that equal footing so that you can continue on this journey together. And here we have the archangel watching over, praying, and bringing this connection into your life. But it's about the masculine teaching the feminine to rise up, right? And especially with the judgment card here, we have the strength card too. So a lot of this could, with the Three of Pentacles being behind that, it could definitely be towards any partnerships, being scared of commitment, thinking everyone's the same, or whatever the case may be, always really scared of, like, how men or that masculine energy is going to react to your pure confident, when in reality it's a facade in order to make us feel better about the insecurities that we're hiding. And this is just the hard truth, right? But at this point in the past, neither of y'all were aware, especially with the communication, of how much communication can actually change the process for your present and your future. Y'all were unawakened to the truths of the universe. And it's like now the universe is coming in and it's waking everything up to say, you are not on equal grounds. Both of you need to come to this point of realization, because with the strength card here, this could also talk again, the masculine done burn bridges, right? The masculine in this is talking about the lion, right? The lion roars. He makes his self known. He can react in some very, not so compassionate ways because of fear. It's a mask, right? And it's like the lesson here is for the feminine to come in and move into that unconditional love that says, I see past this. I know that you're reacting out of fear. I know that you're reacting because there's these childhood traumas, and maybe your parents weren't so nice to you. Maybe your past lovers weren't so good to you. And I'm here to not only love myself in that way, but I'm also here to lend unconditional support without enabling, to say, like, it's up to you, but I'm willing to meet you on common ground. So both of you are playing this game. It's like calming down the mass primal instincts. They live in the lower chakras, right? So it's, drugs, sex, partying, working all the time, saying what they feel needs to be like what other people want to hear, but not really speaking from their heart. Where the feminine usually lives in the upper chakras, we live in the clouds. We want to be connected. We want to feel loved. We want to see things in a different light. We like to be creative. These are all the things that we got to balance out between each other. And it's bringing this balance between the two in order to have cooperative working skills with one another and creating that balance, right? So on the feminine side, I do feel that you have been very patient. I feel like this has been kind of a thing that's going on for quite some time. But this is something that you have worked really hard towards. I feel like a lot of you, hi Hope, a lot of you feel like you have gone through some very significant battles in life, okay? And this has taken a lot of work to kind of come to this place of feeling that place of freedom, right? Of happiness, of wonder. With the Seven of Pentacles here, this talks about being patient, planting those seeds and tending to your own garden, putting investment into things that you honestly believe in instead of placing it in things that you feel are a lost cause. Or, a lot of feminines like to go for people who are fixer-uppers. Oh, but I can change him. And it's not that they can't change. It's not up to you to change them, right? It's one of those things where we attract the broken because we're damaged. It's not that we're necessarily broken. It's just we have a lot of karma, we have a lot of baggage, and we have to be able to really look at ourselves and say, but that doesn't have to continue to be my story. I can change my narrative, I can change my perspective, and I'm willing to invest in these things that will lead me away from these battles, away from this traumatic experience where there's a bunch of guarded individuals, right? I want to feel free. I want to feel childlike. I want the sun to shine down on me. And I feel like a lot of you have been kind of waiting for this opportunity to come in where you're going to offer you something tangible. Well, what does that mean? Manifesting. It's being in alignment. If you want to manifest something, you have to be at the vibrational match that you are calling in, right? If you are sitting here saying, oh, well, maybe I'm not pretty enough, maybe I'm not smart enough, maybe I'm not wealthy enough or whatever, but I want the best job and I want the best house and I want the best relationship, but you're constantly putting yourself down, which, listen, we've all been there. I used to do it too. And it's conditioning your mind to believe a more positive narrative, right? So if you believe that the offer is never going to come in, it's never going to come in. If you feel like there are still things you need to work through, then be patient through that process and it will come when it is ready, right? That's the whole point of divine timing. But again, you have to have some control over, right? Which tends to lead more toward things that have to do with you. If we put all of our energy into the people in the background, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you have to be able to see things from a higher perspective. But look at the difference. You have 2 white horses, right? Yes, you might have been a warrior in the past. Maybe you felt like you were constantly having to be defensive or, like almost needing to dominate the conversation because you wanted to be heard, those kind of things. But you were guarded, you were armored. You felt like you couldn't just be yourself around people, especially people you're interested in that kind of way, right? This is one of those, all this divine connection that I'm seeing right now is teaching you to let go. Look at the difference, right? The horse is constantly on the move here. The sword is raised. He's fully armored. He's leaving the battalion behind to come to this place of complete understanding and surrender. The horse is not moving. It is still, right? The sun represents source. And the child is being raised off this horse's back, which it's a white horse. That does mean that it is pure. It is peaceful. Another sign of the divine. And this child is in like complete surrender. It is completely in its light body. That I am in a human experience and I let go. I let go because I want these new opportunities. You see the 2 hands? Spirit is supporting this opportunity that is coming to you. They have all this abundance in the back with a gateway just for you. What's on that other side? Possibly paradise, right? You got to take the step. You got to take the step. So on the masculine side, we have the 7 of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. So it definitely seems that the masculine here has had a lot of opportunities, probably a lot of, quite a few lovers. Probably when you met this person, they were just trying to, get their definitely player mentality, just getting what they need, primal instincts, maybe working away, just having fun, a lot of opportunities, but none of them are fulfilling. Look at those cups. He is blinding himself to the real opportunity, right? Covering eyes. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist. And that's probably right when the time you came in, feminine. Okay? And look at the clouds. The clouds are dark and gray and mysterious, and there's no fulfillment. There's absolutely no fulfillment. And it's like illusion. You can't have all these cups and not have one that can be fulfilling for you because you're not giving it to yourself, masculine. You can't stay blinded to the love and the blessings that surround you all the time. This is one of those moments where I feel that the masculine was simply feeling, I almost get like a worn out jester here. Look at his clothes. You know, it's got patches on the elbows. It's the blue attire, but it looks kind of run down. The rope around his waist, right? Like, so he might have felt that, really he thought that he might have been just having fun with life, but again, it was wearing him down because nothing was fulfilling. Okay? Nothing was fulfilling, and he wasn't taking the necessary steps to get really what he was looking for. Deep down, what he's looking for. And again, he could have had reading, but we could have one that is definitely more in her feels, very highly intuitive, especially with the Queen of Cups. Let's focus on her first, right? Especially with the dolphins, could be really good with telepathic communication, highly, highly intuitive. But with this being said, she's got the lid on her cup. Okay. So even though she's highly intuitive and she's also like very in touch with her emotions, she doesn't quite give her emotions out so freely. She's kind of guarded with that. Hey, Brooke. But look at her. She wants to take the lid off because this porpoise, this dolphin, whatever, is bringing this to the surface because it needs to be addressed. They spirit you to be so in touch with your own love, whoever feminine we are talking to right now, which I do feel is more of the divine. But this is definitely talking about needing to take the lid off. But probably because you knew your masculine was in this place of just having fun and, not really taking things seriously because they got their eyes damn closed. You're guarded to take that lid off, right? Even though you're by the sea of emotions, you still very much have your feet on the ground. You're trying to stabilize yourself when it comes to this person because you don't want to give away too much, right? Then we have the Queen of Wands. So again, someone else very intuitive, could be very much into magic, but this is a very fire. The wands I can also take as kind of manipulative. Um, you know, has definitely taken more on like a controlling nature. So whether this be you in the past or, traits that you have picked up, or if this is someone else that they're dealing with, these are things that just take however it resonates. But the Queen of Wands is someone that has definitely been through the work, right? She's very seductive. She has a lot of like very strong, passionate, fiery energy. Could be very active as well. But she just wants to stand on a throne. With the sunflower, she could have a lot of possibilities, like a lot of opportunities. But even though she's very passionate and, especially, I don't know why, but the way that I'm looking at her holding this stick, she could have kind of like these issues, unhealthy coping mechanisms around sex, which is probably why the divine masculine was drawn to them in the first place, right? Because look at the way she's holding that stick, y'all. Like, I'm just saying. And she's thinking about fertility too. I can see it. I can feel it. Okay. So whoever this person is, it just feels like, they could very much be taking advantage of the masculine and using their seductive qualities in order to keep them out of the emotional feminine, aspects here. But regardless, I feel like the feminine, the masculine definitely felt still bound to his feminine. And it's kind of like this release, okay, with the Eight of Swords. You know, he's dressed in all black. It's this shadow aspect that says, you know, we have to face this truth. We have to face this truth. If you just took off the blinders, because again, we're mirroring, right? You're mirroring. He's saying, let's face these shadow aspects. And this is exactly what the masculine does for us. They make us face our shadow aspects. So instead of covering your eyes and acting like nothing's happening, okay, he's approaching us from this point of that vibration, because you don't necessarily see this person physically changing us, but energetically they are, okay? And they're helping us remove the mask. They're helping us remove these things that are keeping us bound to unhealthy coping mechanisms, unhealthy, like, self-limiting beliefs and patterns and all these kind of things, in order to get us out of our head and move more into our heart and let that lid off. Okay? Says you are not bound, you are not troubled. The tide has already gone out, but you have to make a decision before the tide comes back in. Okay? You don't even see them. They're almost seriously like a shadow. Like a shadow. They come up and they take the bindings off so that we can see the truth. The only way out is within. Okay? Thank you, baby. With the Two of Wands, you know, it's one of those things where once y'all get to this point of facing these shadows, you see the world in your hands, right? I feel like this is where the masculine's, like, older, you know, more physical self starts seeing his younger self like, man, you had that. You had that in your hand. You were at the crossroads. You have to make a decision. Choose your world. Choose the one that makes you feel alive. Because you literally have all these opportunities in your hand, but none of them are fulfilling. You're going to have to make a choice back. Because either way, these opportunities here, you know, the wands represent passionate new beginnings. It's your choice. All of it has potential, but only one. One has ultimate potential. Okay? And that is choosing your own path, regardless of what anyone else thinks masculine. Okay? Whether it's your divine feminine, whether it is your karmic, whether it is your soulmate, your parents, your friends, it does not matter. It is your choice, and that's why free will is in place. Because even though you have a destined outcome, it is your choice to stay in alignment or not. And you have to do with what makes you feel good. Okay? That is some powerful, powerful stuff. Okay. So, and I do find it interesting. Like, look, guys, y'all have 7 on the feminine, 7 on the masculine, right? So 7s could be important for you. All right, so we're going to move into current energy and see what's going on. All right. Okay. So I feel that the feminine at this point, like, you know, has kind of come to this point of not waiting around anymore, right? Like, literally not waiting around. Oh, that's fucking cool, Brooke. Yeah. And this is why. And again, we have the Two of Wands, but on the feminine side, like, y'all are totally mirroring each other. Okay. So it's like the feminine has gotten to this point, like, you are in charge of your own happiness, right, feminine? You are in charge of these new beginnings, no matter if it's with your divine masculine or not. Like, you can't just wait around and not let happiness in regardless, because they're not the source of your happiness, and we have to understand that, okay? You want someone that is going to benefit, is going to mesh into your life well, someone you can share with, but is not the source, right? They just make it better. You are not waiting around anymore. You have stressed out enough, okay? You have stressed out enough about waiting for this offer to come in, waiting for someone to get their shit together, to make their choice, right? Because we do have the Three of Cups and the Devil card here. So they definitely could be in another relationship, or, maybe still getting over an ex. But the point is, and this is what I was talking about, that surrender, right? That surrender. Look at her. All this mental energy and staying up and constantly thinking about it, and like, oh my gosh, like, when are they coming back? But they're not. Right? Like, and this is that deep mental cycle where we're like, we know they are, but maybe they're not. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. And it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to sit there and just wait around all day and kind of sit in the dumps and feel sorry for yourself that your divine masculine don't see you. Oh, they see you, feminine. They see you. Don't get it twisted, babe. Okay? Their actions don't really have much to do with you. Okay. And it's the same as your actions towards them don't really have much to do with them. Your reaction to them is because of how you feel about self and your energy. That discomfort is coming from within, not external. If you were at peace with yourself, you're less likely to get disrupted outside of self. Okay. So it's coming to this point of acknowledgement that regardless of the circumstances, you're willing to move forward. You're willing to surrender and bring more happiness and a peaceful existence, right? Whether this offer comes in or not. Because there is something that someone is bound to, whether that be you or the masculine, okay? It really doesn't matter, because if there are karmic cycles, especially with the devil energy attached, that means you feel stuck. You feel bound to something that is playing with your emotional heartstrings, that is like makes you feel trapped in your situation and you don't have the key, right? And it's like being wrapped up in these third parties that are not fulfilling, that are keeping this stagnancy going, right? But again, you can't keep your life on hold waiting for someone else to make a decision that they want to be in your life. You want to be in your life. That's all that matters. You will align yourself with people who understand you and that can help you through these processes when you just let go, when you just believe, when you have faith, and understand that anything like this going on is going to eventually make its mark and end when it needs to end. But the lesson has to be learned. Okay? It will not end before that contract is done. Okay? It will keep repeating itself. It will keep repeating itself. So if you are in an unhealthy situation, if you're in a marriage that you really don't even care about, if there is not love, if there is not compassion, if there's not understanding and support and, excitement to wake up next to each other, then, don't expect to leave one relationship and that be this, that it be different in the next one, because you're accepting less than par behavior. You're telling the universe, like, I'm unhappy with my life, but it's comfortable and familiar. I'll stick around. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see a lot of people pining after other people who are already in unhealthy relationships, and then get upset that their divine counterpart is in an unhealthy relationship. You got to clean up the shit in your own yard before you start judging other people. Okay? All I'm saying, like, you have to clean up your life. Everything else will fall into place. Okay? But when you get to this point of cleaning up your own yard, cleaning up your shit, things will start moving in your favor. The healing will start. The balance will happen. It's about balancing the mind and the heart to make an analytical decision based off of your heart space. It says, my heart knows that this needs to happen, that these changes need to start. This is how I'm going to start doing it. I am going to start taking these necessary steps in order to be more in alignment with my highest good. But I need to make a decision. Contemplate on what you need to do, because they're doing the same thing. Okay? They're doing the same thing. Goodness gracious, y'all, sorry. You are at a crossroads, and it's like unleashing the dragon. It's unleashing the phoenix. Okay? The disruptive emotions that cause like this point of resistance anytime someone tries to get too close to you, feminine, right? It's like, how can the feminine be such a deep lover and want love, and this is that contradicting bullshit that I've always asked myself, like, how can I be such a deep lover and be like this hopeless romantic, yet anytime someone gets too close, nah, I'm good. I don't want anyone that close, because I've had my heart broken too many times. You know what I'm saying? And that's the stuff that we got to work on, that we got to open our hearts, because sometimes you got to take a risk, right? Sometimes you got to take a risk and have that courage to let someone in and see the real you without all the baggage. You don't want them carrying their baggage in. Don't you carry yours and start that projecting bullshit, right? This is about you standing on your own 2 feet and saying, I have made my decision, a clear decision. Okay? These are some powerful messages, y'all. Ooh, so let's see what's going on currently for the masculine here. What is going on? Whoa. Okay. So, I definitely feel the masculine is going through this huge process, and like it almost feels like the dark night of the soul type shit. Okay. Yeah. On the bottom we have the Tower. So they are definitely being shook up. Okay. So we have the Page of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Eight of Cups, the Strength, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords reverse. So how I'm taking this is, you know, there is some sort of message that has come through for the masculine, okay, that says things have to change. Like, you want stability, you want structure, you want these things. We're sending you the messages, masculine. We're showing you what needs to be cleaned up. The dragon is asleep here, and she is literally sitting on its back with the Page of Pentacles, okay? So the page normally represents messages, a messenger, right? Well, we also have the owl here. The dragon can represent deep-seated fears, your inner demons. It can represent peace that needs to be unleashed, to remember who the fuck you are, masculine, okay? You're not just here to work and slave away and, feel like you're constantly searching for perfection and never to reach it because your soul is tired, okay? These are the messages that Spirit is coming through, showing you that all these things you've been chasing in the past are no longer and never have been fulfilling for you. And that's why your soul is tired, okay? So now they're going into this because, they were in this place of possibly being between two people or trying to decide what kind of energy they want in their life. And I'm going to make you of really going within. Like, what is the best decision for my highest good right now? Now, if they happen to, hi Diana, if they happen to go with the karmic or the soulmate, that's okay too. That is the beautiful art of surrender and acceptance, guys. Because if they go with someone else than their divine counterpart, there are still lessons that need to be learned that only they can get from these other partners. You see what I'm saying? And it is one of those things where this is such a, and again, the only way out is within. So if you're looking for an escape, go within. And this is about shining that light on the things that you were not clean, Melon. It's deep soul searching, getting more in touch with your higher self, with your guides and your source, your God, whatever your belief system is. It's finding your truth, regardless of what anyone else says. I am not doing any personal readings on this one. This is strictly a collective, but if you would like a personal reading, you can email me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. All my information's down below in the description box, honey. Because so after they of like really needing to go within and look for the answers within themselves and not searching for validation, have someone else tell them what the right decision is. They come to this point of realizing, damn, all these seven cups, didn't even realize none of them were fulfilling, none of them were full, and I have to move on towards my hopes and my fulfillments, and that is by taking my own damn cup. My happiness, my fortune, my well-being. This is up to you, masculine. No one can make that decision for you guys, okay? And it's going to take a lot of strength, courage, and this is really where the hard work and the divine feminine comes into play, because the masculine can act out. And I swear, didn't we have a strength card somewhere? Maybe not. Maybe I was just picking up on that energy. No, we did have the strength card. So we have the strength card twice, okay? So, it's one of those things where they're going to have to make a really regression, guys. You're going to have to deal with that inner beast, that need for survival, that they'll do anything at any cost, right? To make them feel something. The whole lesson with the divine feminine is no matter how much the masculine lashes out, no matter how much, and that's where healthy boundaries come into play, because I'm not telling anyone to take abuse. Divine counterparts don't take abuse, okay? It's not an abusive situation. Most of it is projection. Most of it is, running away and that tug and pull, whatever the case may be, which I'll talk about that on a later video. But the divine connections, I don't believe are really ever abusive. So please let me make that clear, okay? But, you're too close or you're too emotional or whatever the case may be, but it's because they're not dealing with their own shit, right? So it makes them uncomfortable. You start rubbing up on each other's shadow side, brings up all these damn fears. And the lesson for the feminine is to say, no, I will slowly but cautiously meet you. Okay? I am not going to give up because I love you. I respect you. And until that moment that I can be flexible enough without breaking, and I can meet you face to face and stare you in the eyes, and we can feel that trigger, that connection, that soul recognition, to see that we are one. I understand what you're going through, because I've been that wounded child before too. I have been that wounded adult too. And I get it. I have lashed out before too. But I've used my tools. I've used my own understanding to come to a peaceful, transitioned state of mind. And I can help you. I can help you calm that mind. I can help you calm your fears. But it's up to you to do the work. Are you going to walk with me? Right? Let me ease your worries. We'll get through this together. Okay? Because it takes equal cooperative partnerships in order to work hard on it. Okay? And going to be putting in effort into something, no matter what decision that is. But can y'all not hear me? Is it my end? Krista said internet is breaking up every time. Love you too. Thank you. Can y'all hear and see me okay though? Connection is bad? Shit. Of course it is. Man, of course. Give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, that's weird. Because it says it's fine. So anyway, I'll have to go back and check it. Whatevs. But this is one of those things where whatever decision they make, right? Whatever decision they, situation they try to leave or, choose to move towards, they're going to be putting in a lot of effort. And most of that, I feel, will be putting into themselves, okay? Into their healing, into their process. Could be back into work. You know what I'm saying? But with the Queen of Swords here, I feel like this is them letting down their guard, which in turn helps you too, okay? The Queen of Swords can be someone who, like, loving, nurturing side, but has been through enough shit. She's not afraid to cut people out. Okay. I feel like he's going to start letting down his guard here in order to work through things, because you have to let the guard down in order for things to start gaining momentum. Okay. So let's move on to what's happening in the future. Okay. What is happening in the future for the feminine? The Ten of Cups, guys. This is such a beautiful confirmation. Okay. I have no idea what's come out of my mouth in the last 50 minutes, but whatever it is, this is all leading you to the Ten of Cups. Okay. This is your happy home, happy life, happy relationship, kids running in the yard, the stars are aligning in your favor, the moment that you have been waiting for, everything's going to come about. The fact that that's the very first card to come out is beautiful. It's beautiful, because that's what you hope for with your divine counterpart, is that you can get through all the hard shit, in order for things to start really turning in your favor. Karmic cycles coming to a close. Things like really starting to turn into a more positive direction because you're doing the change. You know what I'm saying? You are making the necessary changes. You are choosing your own direction. You're cutting out things that no longer serve you. You're saying, I know my truth. Divine is my truth. Source is my truth. And I will use source's energy to remove me from anything that is not serving my highest good or not me in alignment. I will use my voice. I will use my power. And I will stand up for myself, right? I will not accept anything less than I deserve. And I will clean up my life because I've already been through this shit. If it smells like shit, and it, probably is. Okay. So, and Ramblin' Mike says it all the time. Listen, if they don't want to come in right, put them back in the timeout chair, because the divine feminine is good either way, right? That separation is the biggest teaching opportunity. And again, here he is, coming away to cut those cords. Says, let's take one final cut, right? So in the past here, you got some stuff to work on, feminine. Let's see how much I can trigger you. I'll be like a shadow, I come and I go. Let's work on those abandonment issues, right? Let's work on your need for control. Let's work on you not seeing the opportunities that are at hand for your evolution. And now we get to this point where he's literally helping you cut these bindings away. She can sense him even though her blindfold is still on. And look at the way he's looking at her. Like, I got you, babe. I got you. That tide is coming in. We are out of here. The tides are shifting. She's unsure, but he's there to support you. He's there to at least get enough of, trigger you enough to let these ropes away for you to at least get your hands free to take the blindfold off for yourself. Okay? And again, he is not in front or behind her. He is beside her. That is what you want from your masculine. Is there anything else that's happening in the future for the feminine? The world. all these new beginnings. And I was, thinking about this earlier because one of the challenges that I'm coming up with, which I want to do a week by myself, and I'll fill in everyone next week. But one of the things that I love most about myself is I am a true fundamental elemental person, right? I know when to speak up for myself. I know when to cut my cords. I can use my thoughts intellectually and, just use my mind in different ways that I'm super freaking proud of. I know when to be emotional. I know when to be compassionate. I know when to, protect my energy and keep my lid on, and I know when to let it off. I know when to become stable, grounded, passionate, driven, motivated, but I also know how to go after a dream, be focused on bringing in my grounded nature, but my monetary needs. Like, I want these things, and by using all of these elements to start new chapters in your life, knowing that you are the manifester, and once you close out certain cycles in your life that are no longer an energetic fit, then you will start these new chapters for yourself, and you will be able to use these opportunities and these manifestation abilities to start these new cycles for you. Okay, let's go to the masculine. What is going on? 9 of Wands. So he's definitely still very much guarded, which, okay. But this is the wounded warrior. And this is going to be the point where he really realizes, like, how wounded he actually is. Again, taking that wand, that beginning, the chameleon here definitely talks about, successful new beginnings. Okay. But the 9 and the ace make 10. So there's a lot of weight on the masculine to make a clear decision. Okay. Anything he is resistant to or holding on to that no longer serves him, the death energy is going to come in and clear it out regardless. The universe will always get involved when someone is not listening. Okay. The weight, the pressures that the divine masculine puts on themselves, and learn to open up. Learn to have open and honest communication. Putting the sword down, choosing a different crown, and choosing sources messages over the land, over the people that inhabit this planet that are just as wounded and fucked up as the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? We all got baggage. We all have lessons to learn. And it's like trusting in spirit's message, not the ego, and putting down the sword, saying, it is time for me to listen to the ultimate truth, right? Listen to the ultimate truth. Because the juggling, okay, have to make a decision. But again, he's walking towards the ship. He's weighing out his odds, okay? Weighing out the odds as he's heading to the ship that's already docked. Says, what can I offer? He says, what do I have to offer this feminine? Because I'm not, like, there's a lot of self-worthiness issues. I feel that he thinks that you are like this magic because he hasn't gotten in touch with that side of himself that is the ultimate truth. right? Still very much living in a 3D reality. He could also feel like you have someone else in your life and he's not sure if he's willing to fight for it. Like, do I just let her go on about her thing, or do I just move on about my life? As long as there is a third party involved on either side, like, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a hard time making a decision of whether it's actually worth work, okay? And it's not to say that, you know, you shouldn't date or that you shouldn't go out and have a good time or whatever the case may be. Get out and meet people. I'm not saying that you can't do that. But if you are in an unhappy marriage, committed relationship, but yet you want your masculine to come in, you're not an energetic match, right? And you can't expect them to leave their relationship if you are in an unhappy one too. Like, that doesn't make sense. So it's one of those things where you have to look at the relationships in your life. If there is anything that you feel that you are not happy or celebratory about, and you feel like there is no movement, these are the things that need to be cleaned up in your life and in theirs. Because there's too many people involved. There's too many people involved. Yes, absolutely. Alcohol or substance abuse can be a third party influence, especially with the Three of Cups. But, and that's the thing too. Like, we have the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles popping out too. He has, and this is where it really comes in, okay? The masculine energy has to realize what is an illusion, what is stable, what is abundant, what is good for them. And they have to figure that on their own, okay? With the Nine of Cups, you know, it could even get, and all these cards mean different things, okay? The Nine of Cups does mean, hopes and dreams being fulfilled, okay? But it also here could mean that, they might take a little bit of advantage when good luck starts to come around on their side, that they end up taking advantage of the people who they feel are lesser, right? So this could be another big lesson that they need to be working on, and understanding that it was their choice, right, of choosing the monetary, and, especially with the snake being here, it could be more of these temptations, again, overeating and food, where this heavy set man is sitting on the bench and his servants bringing him all his food, and he's just picking right up. He's having a grand old time, but look at that boy's face. He is not happy. Okay. So if you have masculine, if you have someone who is in service to you, do not take advantage, because it was your choice, right? Or could be the same thing. Maybe you feel like you're in a happy situation, but you feel like you're being taken advantage of because you are in service. However that resonates. Okay, especially if you're in a toxic situation. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take slow and diligent effort to move towards the things that you really want to accomplish in life. If you look in the background, they are already plowing those fields. Okay, they're getting ready for their harvest, and the Knight of Pentacles is the only one that makes it across the finish line. Okay, so the Empress is on the bottom. You stay in your sacred feminine energy and y'all keep rising on up closer and closer. You know, I know people who are watching my channel are doing the work. You wouldn't resonate with my messages if you didn't, okay? But the more that you move into your sacred feminine energy, guys, the more that you realize, the more that you get rid of in your life that is not for your highest good, that is not fulfilling, that is not exciting, that is not doing anything for your life but bringing fucking drama and chaos, needs to go. It is time for you to create the life that you want so that new beginnings can come. Dropping the material baggage, okay? Being so in the moment that even when your conscious mind is like, no, don't do that. You know all you have to do is have faith. Be in the moment and allow spirit to guide you in the next direction. Yeah, listen, guys, you got the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful things are happening for both of you. Six of Wands. Again, the Strength card. Listen, there's a lot of super big changes happening. And, you know, the Fool is already successful because they are trusting faith. They are trusting destiny. They are staying centered in the moment and allowing themselves to go with the flow and enjoying the beauty that is around them always. It's changing the mindset to see beauty, to see, you know, encouragement, to see compassion, to see love instead of seeing the chaos in this world. That's how we change it. The more we focus on that love, the more we will see. Okay? The more we change our mindset about relationships and the people in this world, the more we will see more in alignment people, right? So I hope these messages resonate with y'all. I know that was kind of a long one, but I felt like that was a great storyline, even though I'm not really sure what came out of my mouth. So that's what happens when I channel. It just is. So I really wish you guys the best of luck. If anyone would like a personal reading, you can email me at whispersofgrace1016 at gmail.com. And all my information is down below. If you want to support the channel, there is a donation link down below in the description box. I thank you all so much for being here for me and for yourselves and trusting me with these messages. I really appreciate every single one of you. Y'all are awesome and amazing human beings and spiritual badasses, and I'm so proud to have y'all in my life. Seriously, y'all are so amazing, and I don't know what I'd do without y'all. So thank you for letting me do what I do best and trusting this process. So if anyone needs to get in touch with me, all my stuff's down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know how it resonates with you. And, you know, I just send y'all so much love and many blessings. Bye, guys.